Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. Donnie, we had our Nintendo Direct this week.
We did.
Just as we predicted.
Rumors
so
are true.
exciting. I'm so excited to talk about it. I'm so excited to hear your opinions about it. I saw you circle which games you're going to get, and we'll talk. How has your week been?
Pretty good. Eventful. I went to a car show yesterday and got to show off the ride, and we are reviewing a game this week, PSVG, so I've been playing a lot of it.
Okay.
It is a game that is coming to Switch. I'm not playing a Switch version, but we're looking forward to that. So that's taken a lot of my gaming time away. I haven't played...
Is the game coming out this week?
Yes. Yeah, I think I can say that. I don't think I'm allowed to admit to that. Yeah, a game comes out this week.
Is it something I'm interested
no,
in?
I don't think so. But
because I have a game coming out this week that I'm excited about on Switch.
Oh, nice. No, I don't think so. But I'm kind of co-reviewing. We have like a whole little setup that we're planning. So I've been doing that and taking most of my gaming time. I didn't play Zelda. I actually didn't play Zelda like on purpose. I was talking about that on PSVG. I felt like last week I played it honestly because we podcast. I was like, I should get some Zelda in, and I didn't like that. Really like that feeling. I feel like I kind of played a lot of Zelda like in a month. So I was like, I'm just gonna give it like a little break while I've got this review and not try to like do both and all that. And I think it worked because last night I was like, I should play some Zelda, and I was like, oh, there's that feeling again. And I was like, all right, let's give it a couple days, and then I'll come back and play some Zelda. So,
well, what a coincidence, because I didn't really play that much Zelda this week either.
For good reasons.
Yeah.
Like not just me. Well, I played too much. So
yeah, I just have been doing some other stuff this week, and also just kind of tinkering with some other games, and also just trying, just like you said, not trying to rush it, not trying to play it because I should play it. Like we've been waiting for this game for so long. We should be allowed to play it at the pace that we are comfortable with. Right?
Precisely. So, I agree.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. I've been trying to play my Analog Pocket more. Remember this little Game Boy device? I bought, every time I go to like a game shop, I try to buy like a Game Boy Color or advanced game. So I bought Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, which I love Pokemon pinball games, and I had the first one, but I didn't have the second one. So I bought that, and I'm going to be playing a little bit of that, just, kind of casually. And then I'm getting back into the Oracle games as well, Oracle of Seasons and Ages, just because it's been a hot minute since I played them, and it looks gorgeous on this screen, let me tell you.
What a great time to be alive.
Right?
I was thinking about this last week. I'm not sure if you saw, but I was combing through my Google Drive, cleaning up. I found all these old photos of PSVG, like the blog and the website and like our first iterations of logos and stuff. And I was like, I don't mean to like be overly nostalgic, but like we started this like 7-8 years ago. And gaming at that time feels so different from gaming from today. And we were just happy when we got like some dark like Wii U ROMs that looked like they had like a shadow filter on them, like didn't quite play right. Maybe you had to hold the gamepad sideways, or rubber band like a damn Wiimote to your Pro controller. Like it was so different. And I think about that often. I don't have the analog, but I have, oh God, I even forget what the one that I have, but I have a little Game Boy Retro handheld too. And you're right. I mean, I'm sure yours is much better than mine. I have like one of the cheap ones at Amazon. It's like the RG35XX or something. I think it's Ambernick, I think is what the one I have, but it looks great. The screen is so bright and vibrant, and you play something like Pokemon or an old Zelda on it, and you just feel right at home. And I'm like, how was this not a thing earlier? Like, how did this happen? Like, how did we get to 2020 before this happened?
Yeah.
It feels, I don't know, like what technology, while it got so cheap so fast to let this happen, but it feels like this should have been a thing like 10 years ago, and it just became a thing, and it's gorgeous.
It's vibrant. The pixels are very crisp. I see someone in chat asking me about how it compares to the Game Boy Advance SP. It is much crisper and bright. Like, it doesn't have that like the SP has kind of that like filter over it, just because it's like the natural console, like the way the screen is built. This is not. It's just like there's no filter over it. It's just crisp pixels. Like, it's not how you remember it at all. But it has lots of good settings, and it plays original cartridges. So I'm very happy with it.
It's beautiful. I wish I had mine here to show you, but it's not. I mean, it's mine. I'm not gonna lie. I literally bought it basically for Jack. It's like a Pokemon machine for Jack, but it's cool. I played a bunch of, and I never had like a GBA or a GS or anything like that, so it's got a lot of that stuff. The reason I bought the one that I did is it comes preloaded with like 1,000 ROMs. I didn't do anything to it. I haven't modded it at all. You just turned it on and start playing.
You need the games,
which is nice. It's convenient to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But what a time to be alive.
Taking a little break from Tears of the Kingdom, but I think I'm going to jump back into it fairly soon, because I am done all 4 of the dungeons. Did I talk about that last week? I don't think I did. I beat the 4th dungeon.
Yeah, the Garuda one.
Temple.
You said it was your favorite one.
Yeah, okay, I did talk about it. I did. Yep. Yeah, so I really haven't progressed much at all since then.
It gives me time to
I think what I want to do is I want to go and do some of the Great Fairies to upgrade my armor, because I haven't done any of that yet, and I was struggling on this boss. It was like one-shotting me in some instances, like in the final phase, like, because I have more stamina than I have hearts, so that's also a problem. I need to get more hearts.
How many hearts do you have?
I don't know, like
rough guess.
10.
Okay.
12.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah. But it was like one or two shotting me. So the way that I ended up having to beat it was eating the high defense. I had to like leave the boss chamber, cook a bunch of food that gave me higher defense. Those like iron shrooms. Mm-hmm. So I made a bunch of those, and then it was not able to one-shot me. So that was how I was able to finally beat it. But that was really fun. That was a fun boss fight and a fun temple. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do a couple like housekeeping type things before I do the end game, just to like make myself stronger.
Sure.
Because I feel like I've been neglecting things like that during my playthrough. And then I want to beat it, and then I want to do extra stuff.
I haven't had anything spoiled yet. I don't know anything about the end game.
Me neither.
But you having beat the 4 temples, there's no like extra quests. There's no like hidden temples or anything we don't know about. It is just do the 4 and then go to Ganon. That's it.
I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if there is or not. I know that the end game is more than just going to beat Ganon, but I don't know if that involves just cutscenes or temples, or I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Anything else before we jump into the Nintendo Direct?
No, I don't think so.
Then let's do it. This was a 40-minute first party direct. Mm-hmm. I was surprised because I thought that it would not be a first party, just like a normal direct, but it was. And it opened with your favorite game, Donnie, Pokemon Scarlet Violet, detailing the DLC. I honestly, honest to God, do not feel like this trailer showed us more than we already knew about the DLC.
Didn't they already named those DLC packs before, right?
Already named it. We already knew. We've already seen the legendary Pokemon that they showed off. The only like thing about it that's new is that there's going to be a new area called the Terrarium that's like under the sea that has like these 4 different biomes that you can explore and find new Pokemon. And it kind of looks like the Safari Zone of the older games.
Sure.
Where you can go and catch Pokemon. I'm sure there's some kind of story involved. I will not be playing.
It was just, it just served to remind people that DLC was coming. To get Pokemon in the direct, to get it trending, to get people, talking about it, just to reiterate that there's Pokemon exists out there.
It's coming in 2 parts. The teal mask is coming in the fall, no date. The indigo disc is coming in the winter, no date. The only thing I really care about is that Ninetales is going to be back in the game, so I'll be able to bring up my beautiful, perfect, dozens of ribbons Ninetales to bring her up and enjoy her in the game. And so I'll do that once and look at her and pet her and then not touch it until the next game comes out.
And close it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I don't come off as overly enthused. Pokemon used to
It just doesn't look fun.
Pokemon used to be one of my favorite franchises, like at least on Nintendo, like top 3. And I feel like I haven't been excited about Pokemon in years.
Same.
So
unfortunate. I don't know if it's just the direction. I think it's part of the direction they're going, part of us being old and not feeling excited about the direction they're going.
I'm more excited for the other Pokemon game that was in the Direct.
We'll talk about it. Our second favorite game, Sonic Superstars, they showed off. I didn't know if that was a new announcement or something they already showed in other showcases.
They showed a Summer Games Fest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that same Pokemon. It's that same Sonic game. It's fine. It's a Sonic game. I remain intrigued. I'm interested. I'm not interested to pre-purchase it. That is kind of like a running theme for me. Is like this Direct has a lot of games, and I'm like, I'd like to play that, but like, not like at full price. Not like on day one. I'm like, I'd like to play a lot of these on like sale, like on Black Friday. Later on. Yeah, it's kind of a thing for me. But the Sonic fits into that.
Get me interested in this game if you paid me. Palia is a free-to-play adventure sim. Is coming out this holiday. My attention has been grabbed with the free-to-play aspect of it. I like games like that. I like not paying for games like that. So I will at least try this game. It looks very cute.
Cool.
Doesn't look like it has anything like that stands out that makes it different from other games of that genre. But I like that it's free-to-play.
Yeah, we haven't. Do we have a lot of free-to-play games like this in this like genre?
No.
I don't think so.
I thought that Disney Dreamlight Valley was going to be free to play, but it wasn't. And I wanted to play that, but I didn't want to pay for it. So this will be my replacement for that.
Cool.
Because I don't want to give Disney money. Persona 5 Tactica. I think we talked about how that was leaked before. And it was announced during the other showcases. And it is coming to Switch. Coming out November 17th. People were excited about this one. Still no confirmation of Persona 3 Reloaded, though the individual that leaked the remake says that it's not coming out on Switch.
It looks to be that way, which is interesting because it makes you want to. It makes me want to ask why. They released Persona 5, right? They released Persona 4 Golden. They're releasing Tactica. So why? Is it not selling well on Switch? Is the cost to port this one more than the others? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows, but I mean, it's interesting.
Shouldn't be.
Right.
It should not be.
Maybe it comes later? Maybe?
Real question. Release Persona 6. When's Persona 6 coming? I don't know. Says Chewy in chat.
Probably next year.
Probably.
We're waiting for that one.
I don't keep up with that.
I think
that'll be big.
I think that one's on the horizon. I think they're working on that one. It should come out next year. I think.
Okay.
At least be teased. There are lots of rumors it's going to be teased this year, so I imagine that it's just probably being held.
Myth Force is a roguelike Saturday morning cartoon game. I love how this game looks. It literally looks like a Saturday morning cartoon.
It does. Yep.
I'm not interested at all, but I liked how it looked.
Yeah, same. This would be something
you don't like roguelites.
This would be something that I'd probably try on art style alone if they had a demo, just to see. But yeah, wasn't particularly like overly interested. Wasn't a great like start to the Direct, right?
It was a slow start.
Yeah, like I kicked off and I was like, really? Oh boy.
This is in order, right?
I took these notes as I watched it. So
okay.
I believe it's in order, and it should be like Donnie shorthand. So good luck with that, Rebecca. But yeah, I mean, it was just as I watched it, I was just typing. So
I was excited when they showed Splatoon next, but then was immediately disappointed when it was filler. Just here's a Splatfest announcement and not the DLC. We have been waiting to hear information about the Side Order DLC, and there was not even a mention of it, Donnie. Instead, we have to pick whether we like vanilla strawberry or mint chip ice cream.
Was there a more vanilla announcement?
Right? Like, where's Side Order? Where is it? There was not even like I was waiting for them at the end to be like, and by the way, we'll have more to share about Side Order soon. Not even that.
No, not even that.
Which means it'll probably be next year.
You think?
Probably at this point. If it was going to be this year, they would show us something.
I mean, I think there's still time, right? They could announce that in September or October or something. Maybe it's in January, December. They've been kind of putting something in there in that window for a while now. Next year, I mean, that seemed. I mean, you're maybe, but I don't. That's a mistake if it's next year. Like, if it's next year, that's such a long time.
Mm-hmm. Because the game came out in 2022.
Yeah, that's a really, really long time. These Splatfests are boring.
Anyway, I'm picking vanilla. I'm picking vanilla.
I mean, out of these, I would always pick strawberry. But yeah, I don't play Splatoon anymore.
See, the thing is, this should not be the Splatfest theme. It should be something Pikmin related.
That's good. Yeah, at least pick your favorite color Pikmin, like your favorite Pikmin.
And that would be the boring Pikmin
right.
theme. But you're right, that would be better than this.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you could pick
red Pikmin,
rock
blue Pikmin, or yellow Pikmin. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, rock, ice, or something like that to get me interested in Pikmin.
Yeah, that'd be better than this. This is boring.
Picking Team Vanilla due to the color of the ink.
Speaking of boring.
Not boring at all. The next announcement, I think, is the one that excited you.
No, not even a little bit. This is what I was saying. Speaking of boring, they announced Detective Pikachu returns.
I thought that was the one that you were more interested in. The Pokemon announcement you were more interested in than...
No, I'll save that for
Was there
later.
another one?
There is.
I don't remember.
It's not Pokemon. I'm more interested in Dragon Quest Monsters, which is a Pokemon game. That was my troll. I'm more interested in that.
Oh!
So, I played Detective Pikachu on 3DS. Have you?
No, but I did download the original. I downloaded it on my hacked 3DS, and I turned it on and watched the first cutscene. And it is something that I would like to play.
Yeah, it's boring. It's really slow.
Then maybe I won't.
It's like a click adventure where you just walk around and you find evidence, and then you pair that evidence with something else, and it's just a means to get to the cutscene. Which, just to say something nice, Detective Pikachu looked like it had very cool cutscenes. It looked very charming. The voice acting definitely come a long way. I was like, that looks interesting. But I believe there's a reason that they didn't show any gameplay at all. And the entire trailer is just a cut from one cutscene to the next, to the next, to the next.
True.
And it's probably because that gameplay probably hasn't changed much, and it's probably really slow and boring. And I'm just not interested in that. I would rather just watch, somebody cut up the cutscenes on YouTube or something like that. I remain optimistic that maybe they surprise us and they're like, hey, here's a fun game to show. But I think if they did, if that existed, they would have showed it to us. So
you just made me realize that they didn't show any gameplay.
None.
And I haven't played the first game, and you're making me feel like if I watched the movie, which I did, then I probably had the best Detective Pikachu experience already.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I got into the hype on 3DS, and I actually bought that game. And not that it's terrible by any means. It's just rather mid and uneventful and just not very captivating unless you're if you're the type of player that just really gets into the cutscenes and you don't mind, kind of playing repetitive, mundane to get to the next cutscene, then there might be something there for you. And if you're into that,
I do mind.
You might enjoy that, but I don't. If I'm sitting there, I'm bored, this is not a very good video game. And that's my lasting memory of playing Detective Pikachu. I was like, this is boring as hell.
Okay, you convinced me then to not touch it. And I probably now won't go back to the one on 3DS either.
It'd be interesting if they do a demo, because I will make a prediction that they won't, because they don't want to turn people off. They want you to buy it. Not even joking. I know I'm laughing, but I'm being dead serious. That is a dead serious prediction. They won't even put a demo out.
Oh,
because they'd be
you're
like,
probably
this
right.
is going to bore the hell out of people.
I don't think there was a demo for the 3DS one either.
I will tell you, it did look like it had like a nice hefty glow up, and I saw some reactions to it, and people were like, "This looks like a 3DS game," and I guess it's because it's rather flat. But somebody who played the 3DS game, I was like, "This looks pretty nice."
People who say that don't remember what 3DS games.
I think
look
so.
like.
Yeah, I was like, "This looks pretty good." It made me at first. It kind of hooked me because I was like, maybe they really went back to it and they were like, let's do this right now. But in the fact they didn't show any gameplay at all, I was like, no, they probably didn't.
But don't forget that they announced this was in development since like 2019.
That's right. Yeah, they did announce this years ago. You're right. Was it one of those directs? I want to say Metroid. It wasn't the same one, was it? But it is very Metroid Prime 4-ish. You know, they were like,
yeah, it was
Detective
after
Pikachu
that.
is in production, and then we just didn't hear about it for years.
1918 at earliest. It wasn't 17.
Yeah.
But long time. Coming out October 6th for those who are interested. Don't let us rain on your parade if you are.
Yeah, go get it. Get excited.
The next announcement was soft leaked. There was a leak that a beloved Super Nintendo classic would be getting a remake. And people were throwing out guesses. And one of the most popular guesses was Super Mario RPG. And that ended up being the case. This is being remade. Now, this one, I know you're not big into RPGs, but this art style looks gorgeous. To me, this is the best case scenario for turning a Super Nintendo game into a modern Switch game. It looks gorgeous.
This is like a dream announcement for folks, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a huge, like a juggernaut announcement for so many people. So
100%.
I'm not gonna rain on that parade.
Don't. We will get hate mail if you rain on that parade.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I'm not going to. For people that are really excited, I'm happy for you. I have dabbled.
This, I'm surprised, was not like an opening announcement or a closing announcement. That's how big it is.
Yeah, it is.
This was just smack in the middle.
I've dabbled with Mario RPG over the years. I think the first time I played it may have been on Wii. And I think I've almost always gotten it on Virtual Console when it was available. But I've dabbled with it a few times, and yeah, I'm not one that's into turn-based stuff. I don't play a lot of RPGs, so you can imagine that I've messed around with this for an hour here or there, and I've never really gotten into it. Doesn't mean I won't give it another try, but I don't know. Like I'm not currently planning on it. But we'll see. Like I remain open to having my mind changed, you know. Like if it comes out in reviews and everybody's loving it and it's really good, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, I had the unfortunate situation of playing this game after I played Chrono Trigger and Earthbound. So it was really hard to live up to those two amazing RPGs. That being said, I did enjoy it. I did, see how much charm there was in it. And I think this remake will be 100% worth getting, especially if you hadn't played the original. It is very, very charming, very fun. It is a little bit different than other turn-based RPGs with the battle style. The characters are just very funny, very full of personality. You will love Bowser in this game. Bowser is the best that he has ever been in this game. The original composer, Yoko Shimomura, she made the soundtrack for the original. She confirmed that she will be back for this remake. She said, "I'm in charge of the music for the remake version of Super Mario RPG, announced at the Nintendo Direct today. I put all my heart into arranging the songs, hoping that both the fans of the original and those playing for the first time can enjoy it." It does have a really good soundtrack. She did awesome.
It's awesome.
It just looks like they know how special of a game it is to people, and they didn't half-ass it. And I
agree with. Except for maybe the box cover. I saw people.
The box cover, like I get what they were going for with it mirroring the original, but they didn't have to do that.
But
They shouldn't have done that.
Outside of that, yeah, it does seem like they put a lot of work and effort into this. And like I said, this is a dream announcement for so many people. So I'm not gonna. I'll make fun of it later. I'll make fun of it today.
And it comes out November 17th, so it is coming out this year. Then right after that, they said, well, that's not all, Mario fans. And then they showed a red curtain, and I was like, oh my God, it's Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake.
That would have gotten me really excited. That's the remake I would have jumped for.
It was not that. The curtain tripped me out. They showed Princess Peach, and this was just a tease for a game that's coming out in 2024, where she is going to star in her own action-adventure game.
Yo, I'm stoked. Like if I was streaming, this got me more excited than anything else. I never played Super Princess Peach because I never had a DS, right? I've always wanted them to do like offshoots like this.
Yeah.
I've always felt like so oftentimes they put Kirby in that role, and I've been like, that's so bizarre. You have like this giant cast of characters, you know, and they'll dabble with like a Yoshi here and there, but it's like, man, I love Luigi's Mansion. I would love like a Bowser game. I would love more Donkey Kong games where they're like spin-offs, even if they're more Mario style. Like it doesn't have to be a quote unquote Donkey Kong game. You could make a Mario style game just featuring Donkey Kong. Like do more with those characters. Captain Toad, a perfect example. I was so excited when Captain Toad came out. When I saw that I popped. I don't really know what I'm getting hyped for. It looked like I was looking at like an adventure platformer, but like she changes dresses and gets cool power. I was like, fucking yeah, I'm here for some Princess Peach game. And I don't even really know why. I think it's just the freshness, like the newness of it. It's just kind of something I feel like they should do more often. So I'm definitely going to be there in support of this one. So I was excited.
I can't help but feel like this is a direct response to people loving Peach's badass role in the movie.
Okay.
I'm sure this has been in development before the movie came out, obviously, but I think they want to get with the times and make her like a strong, independent princess who don't need no Mario. 2024. And we saw nothing about it. Does this release on the Switch successor?
Can we? Okay. We can do this now, but I feel like maybe
we don't have to do it now.
Let's do this later. Let's do this after we get. Let's do the direct. And then
planting that seed in your head. We'll come back to it. So Mario, Peach, but wait, there's more. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It's being remastered. Originally came out on the 3DS. It's coming out next year as well. They just kind of showed a little bit of cutscene of how they're remastering that. I did not play this game. I only played the first Luigi's Mansion. I heard this is the worst of the three, but regardless, pretty cool that they're doing it.
Yeah, I would. Worst of the three. I don't like the. That's right. It's my least favorite. But when you put the word worst in there, I think people, they'll make that connection that it's not good. It is good. It's just not. Yeah. It's not as good. Luigi's Mansion 3 destroys this game. So like, if you haven't played Luigi's Mansion 3, don't play Dark Moon. Like, don't wait for that. Play Luigi's Mansion 3. But somebody who really likes Luigi's Mansion, would I buy the Dark Moon remaster? Absolutely. Do I hope they maybe retool some things? Yeah, it'd be nice if they did more than just upgrade it visually. It'd be nice if it got more than that. I'm
surprised they're not doing 1 and 2.
Yeah, that is a little weird. And we had somebody in the Discord. They were like, "Where's 1?" And I was like, I mean, maybe they haven't just announced it yet. Like maybe that's coming.
This would have been the time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. Maybe the source code is just more fresh. I don't know.
Do you think they just don't see 1 as being worthwhile anymore with how like 2 and 3 are more complex games?
It's possible. Maybe they're saving it for something else. Like that's
I was
the
not
thing.
overly thrilled about 1. It was fine.
So I mean, the thing that needs to be said about Mario RPG is that for years people make fun of them and troll them. It's not an NSO. Another month passes by and Super Mario RPG still isn't here, and all of that jazz. And then we find out ultimately, well, it's because they're working on a remake. So not saying that they're working on a remake for Luigi's Mansion. I don't think they are. But you just never know, right? With Nintendo, you never
True.
know what they're planning. They may have a service
True.
or something. They may be looking to add an expansion in it, so maybe they're looking at including it like that somehow. I don't know, but it is interesting. I would have been more excited if they were remaking Luigi's Mansion. But I'm interested in Dark Moon. I would buy Dark Moon. So I didn't hate it enough to not buy. I would buy it and play it again.
So you brought up a really good point. You know, we had been making fun of them. Well, why isn't Super Mario RPG on Switch Online? Like, put it on. Is it Square Enix's fault? Like, what the heck? And that's because we now know that they were working on a remake, a very beautiful remake that looks like it took a lot of time. What does this mean for Chrono Trigger, Donnie?
That was the rumor that I was chasing leading up to the Direct. Everybody thought there was a Chrono Trigger remake that was about to drop.
Well, that was one of the options for the beloved Super Nintendo remake.
Yeah.
But they're both Square.
I think there's plenty of money to be had in a Chrono Trigger remake or remaster. And that leads me to think that Square will probably do that at some day. That said...
Is that why it's not on NSO?
Yeah, that would be my guess. But I would say that the only thing that gives me any pause is that Chrono Trigger is very near and dear to people's hearts. And therefore, they have to make sure that it's done correctly. That's not something you just remaster. Like, you don't just put it out
like
there.
They did for Chrono Cross.
Yeah, you got to do a little bit. You got to put in the effort. And I expect that that's what they're doing, and I expect that that'll probably be a thing at some point. There's just too much money here. Like, that's what people are figuring out. There's just way too much money here. I wonder if they'll ever do Link's Awakening in one of these, Super Nintendo glow-up styles. I'm not Link's Awakening.
We already got a remake.
Sorry, Link to the Past. That's what I meant to say.
Oh.
Because, there's
that would be a big deal.
There's definitely a market here. Like, you see the excitement of fans and the nostalgia and how well nostalgia is selling. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to take out a, $100 million investment to make a brand new, Zelda game or brand new Mario game? Or what I would imagine is not to demean it, but I imagine is a cheaper development cycle to do something like that, for Chrono Trigger or Link to the Past or any of these beloved games of the past, and you kind of up-res them, give them new art style, and kind of make them modern. I mean, they're probably raking in money on these sorts of things. So,
Donnie, these are my favorite games of all time.
I think we'll see more of them. Dragon Quest, I think we'll see more of these sorts of things, for sure.
I love video games.
Unless it like bottoms out, right? Like, unless we get 2 or 3 of them and people just stop buying them, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think people want these. They want them so bad.
I love video games. Moving on, the Batman Arkham trilogy for the Switch is coming this fall. Only Arkham Asylum will be on the cartridge. The rest are download.
Yep. I don't know why people are so mad about the cartridge thing. This is a common thread in this Direct. There's multiple games like this. I don't see this big of a deal for a couple of reasons. One, we all know that the cartridges just have limits. I think there's limitations. 2, why would any company spend more money so you can have the files on a cartridge as opposed to you just downloading them? Any company, not just like any company. It just doesn't make any sense. 2, even on other consoles or PC, you have to install the games anyway. So what does it matter? Like, I guess I kind of get it, but I you know what? No, I don't. I'm not even going to give them that much. I don't get it. No, it's just dumb. It's a dumb thing to be mad about. So, just, I don't know, stay mad. But this is long overdue. Long over. I've been waiting for this. I've been not waiting for it. I mean, I have all these games. I'm not going to buy this, but I've been waiting to see something like this for so long. I was talking about this like 5 years ago. Where's the Batman trilogy? Where are these games?
I will say it's dumb when they sell a case with no cartridge in it.
Sure. I get that. Yeah. Well, I agree with you to an extent. The only thing that gives me pause is PC games that are sold physically do that all the time. They sell boxes with download codes in them all the time.
They do?
They do. Yeah. And there's a lot of collector's editions that
do you know how much waste
codes.
of plastic that is and how that's killing our environment, Donnie?
I don't know how many plastic Switch cases are killing the environment. I get that your point that you're making is that it seems probably wasteful.
It's very wasteful. If you're not getting a product from it, then
the only thing the reason that still exists, and it's minimal, right? They're not shelves of digital boxes, but the reason that it exists is there are a lot of people that either A, don't have credit cards, right? Or B, don't want to shop or store like their financial information in like a digital storefront. So they want to purchase things in person at retail with cash.
Then put it on a card.
That. I understand that.
Put it on a card.
Yeah, I think
put it in a plastic case.
And I'd say a lot of digital, like there's a lot of collector's editions, right? Where you can buy statues or, you know, extra steel books or whatnot, and they just come with digital codes for the game. And that's something that's catching on. I think honestly that's the future. I think we're going to see more things like that where you buy an item that comes with a code to download the game, and that becomes like the new physical version. There's been a lot of talk about this lately. I'm not sure if you've been following, but there's been a lot of talk about video game distribution, physical copies of games getting harder to find, and just more and more people moving to digital, most people moving to digital, and what that means 10 years from now, because you know, retailers just aren't moving many copies of disc-based, physical-based games.
I just want to say that Taylor Swift sells merchandise, and with each of the merchandise purchases comes with a digital copy of her album. Yeah. So if like you buy a sweatshirt, you also get her album, and that would be pretty cool if I could buy like a Pikachu plushie and get a digital code for the next Pokemon game.
I think that's the future of like physical video game sales. I think that's the future. I think it becomes
I would prefer that.
I think it becomes very merch based. And you buy like a cool collector book or a cool statue or I don't know, you know, like something like that, a t-shirt, a plushie, a hoodie, and you get a copy of the game.
I like that. That's
because I think what it allowed them to do is it allowed them to raise the prices of games that will be sold. Right. So they'll be able to like sell games for like $120 because they'll be like, it comes with this cool watch. You know, like you buy this watch and then you get a copy of the game. And then again, I think it's to counterbalance the push to digital. I forget the numbers. I wish I had it written down, but they're like astonishing. Like the numbers of people, like the ratio of people buying digital to physical of like, I don't know. I don't want to say a number because I don't want to be irresponsible, but they've greatly increased in just like the past 7 years. So that's definitely a thing that's out there that I think more and more people are starting to like. I think people that are realizing right now are like collectors. I think they're feeling the squeeze because they're like, it's getting harder and harder to get games. And then what I think will eventually happen is I think eventually you'll just go to the store and you'd be like, where's the game section? You know, what happened? Because yeah, we're all just Game Pass and digital and download.
I think in Europe, maybe it's just the UK, but somewhere over there, I think digital is getting really popular from what I've heard, that it is harder to find than here.
There have been YouTube videos of like distributors that are just closing. Like the people that actually print discs for like big box stuff, like they're just shutting down because there's just not enough volume to make it profitable anymore. Mm-hmm. Embrace your digital.
Part of it's sad, but yeah, I guess.
I get it.
Gloomhaven. Garrett mentioned this. I don't even remember what this is.
Gloomhaven's a board game. And I believe, and I am very loose on this. I believe the game, like the video game, ties into the board game somehow. Like you can play them together or something like that. It's very popular. It's not for us. I don't think either of us are ever going to be that into Gloomhaven, but the people that are, it's very popular. So this is kind of a big announcement. It's a big announcement.
Yeah. Cool. Excited for those people. I like the name Gloomhaven. Just sounds so cool.
Yeah.
Just Dance 2024. What would life be without the next Just Dance release on a
How is this still happening?
System? Who's buying it every time?
I don't know. Like I'm dying to know because the last time I messed with this game years ago, it was like this live servicey microtransaction laden disaster of a mess. They're trying to sell me a pass for like 6 hours to dance. I was like, what the hell is this? And I'm surprised that it's still going. And that we're spending time on it. Like, why was it? I know why it's in the direct, because Nintendo wants to be a good partner for Ubisoft, so they're probably just giving them the rub. But I mean, it's just, yeah.
I hate that this is Ubisoft's moneymaker.
I don't think it's the moneymaker anymore.
But
I don't know.
But they're still doing it.
But you're right. I think what they've done is they've just gotten it to like such a low overhead. Like they're not like redoing they're not innovating. They're not putting anything into it. It's just kind of like it's like, I don't want to say it's like Madden, but it's kind of like a rehash every year. They just take last year's game and they update like the tracks. I mean, it's got to be the easiest game in the world to make, right? You video capture some people dancing, right? You transparent them, you put them on screen, you play some music over it, more or less. So I just think it's like a very low investment effort for them. So I'm sure they make money, but I don't think it's like the money maker that it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was like making them bank. I don't think it's doing that anymore.
I'm trying to find any kind of sales data, and it is not very available.
Somebody in the chat says, I think last year was the first time it faltered at all. They're so cheap to produce. So maybe it is still making them some money. Maybe it's still as popular as it used to be. I don't know. In video game circles, I used to hear and know and think about Just Dance, and I haven't in years. And maybe that's just because my circles are closing. I don't know. Maybe it's just becoming more casual. I know you can do it on phones, so maybe it's become more of like a mobile crossover. But like, even when I go to stores, I don't see Just Dance anymore. Not like we used to.
The last one that I can find sales data for was Just Dance 2015, so it was some time ago.
Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever. Silent Hope. It's a chibi action RPG by Xseed. It's coming out on October 3rd.
This one I'm excited for. Sort of. I was interested in the trailer. I was like, okay, looks good. I like a good action RPG every now and again. Usually an action like RPG light, which this kind of looks more like. But it does have like that chibi style, and the arenas that they showed kind of looked a little sparse. So like, I don't know. I'm more iffy on it than anything else. This one would matter a lot to the price, I think. As I said, I think a recurring theme for me is I'm interested, but I'm not like all in. And this is in that vein where it's like, if I could get it for $30, would I buy it and play it? Probably. But if you're like, it's $60, I'm like, I'll probably wait then, you know? And there's a lot of the games here that are like, I'm on the fence about, but maybe none more so than this one. If this one had really good reviews, I'd be interested.
It looks bad.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Like, it kind of does. But that's okay. I'm down for a game like that every now and again. But yeah, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it.
A lot of people are into Fae Farm. It was announced for Switch. I don't remember if it was announced for Switch previously, but it had a trailer. It's coming out September 8th. I think this is one of the more popular options that people are excited about for these like farming types of sims. It's like very whimsical. It's has some RPG elements to it, farming, crafting, probably romancing. I don't care, but I know a lot of people do. I did see a lot of people, though, very unhappy that it is $60.
I heard a lot about it during Summer
not a
Games
competitive
Fest.
Price. Yeah, it's not. I feel like for its genre, that's not a competitive price.
Yeah, I'm not.
Competition is often a lot cheaper, but maybe it's really great. Who knows?
I've heard a lot of people talking about it, so there seems to be a lot of interest.
Mm-hmm. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2.
Pass.
Coming out October 19th. Manic Mechanics, July 13th. It's Overcooked if you like cars. Sparks of Hope DLC. The Last Spark Hunter is out today. Demo out now. No Rayman mentioned. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, December 1st. Tell me about it. Talk to me.
Dragon Quest Monsters is a game that I'm not going to act like I've played before, but I am aware of them. It's a franchise that used to exist on DS and things like that in the past. And it's Dragon Quest take on a Pokemon game. Like, it is exactly that. It's Dragon Quest with Pokemon mechanics. and I like Dragon Quest, and it looked really good. And if I was interested in getting any sort of Pokemon, anything like this fall or this year, that would be the one I'd get. Like, this is it. I'm not all in on it. I'm not day one. Again, this is kind of a recurring theme for me. I'm interested. I'll need to see more about it. But this one's on the radar. This is definitely in that maybe category. If I can get it for the right price, or if it reviews really well, or if I can find some gameplay and get more into it, I might be in on Dragon Quest Monsters.
I need to rewatch this trailer because I did not. Maybe I was writing or something during this trailer. But you just got my interest. Maybe I will check that out. I like the idea of it.
And it's been a minute since I played. I haven't played a Dragon Quest game since 11. And I've honestly been thinking about playing something Dragon Quest related for like the past year. I've wishlisted many of them on Steam and stuff like that. I've been looking around. So this is like coming along right at the right time that like my interest is kind of peaked again. Am I day one on December 1st? Probably not. Just because I'm not, I haven't played a lot of these sort of games. But if I could probably get it at a discount or something on sale one day, or as a gift or with a gift card or something, probably. Like if I got a Switch gift card for Christmas, would I buy Dragon Quest Monsters? Probably.
Okay.
But I'd buy it over Detective Pikachu.
Fair. We got our Pikmin 4 section where they introduce a lot of the mechanics we can expect. They introduce Glow Pikmin because you'll be able to go on night expeditions for the very first time. The Glow Pikmin will help you navigate the darkness. Looks like there are new types of environments in this one, like inside of houses.
It was on a kitchen sink.
That's ever been, I don't think that's ever been in Pikmin games before, right?
No, it has this very Honey, I Shrunk the Kids grounded type of thing, which Pikmin has always been like small like that. And you see like giant batteries, but like the vantage points in the environments of pulling you out feel more human-like, so it definitely, I think, adds to that flavor in a way that I haven't really always particularly captured when I played the game.
Yeah. The depths kind of section, I forget what they call it, but like you can kind of go underneath and find castaways.
Until now.
Yeah. Yep. So different types of environments like that. It had a new type of mode that kind of reminded me of the bingo battle from Pikmin 3, where if you can find these castaways and then they help you with multiplayer battles. I don't know, something like that. It looks cool. I think I'm going to get Pikmin 4. I think I'm going to get it. I don't know if this is a game I will beat, but I want to play it and enjoy it and experience it. There is a demo out for those who are unsure. It's coming out on the 28th of this month.
I'm playing that demo immediately.
Yeah, I think I'll play the demo, and I hope it doesn't turn me off from getting the game, but I will. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to support it.
Tralala says there was some DLC stuff in Pikmin 3 that vaguely resembled a human home, but it wasn't this explicit. And I never played the DLC in Pikmin 3.
Cool. Not only Pikmin 4 did they show us, but they announced that there will be HD versions of Pikmin 1 and 2. They shadow dropped them on a Switch eShop. You can get them for $30 each or $50 for both. There will be a physical version of it in one package coming out in September, which I think is a mistake because I think it should come out before Pikmin 4, in my opinion.
Sure.
But I think they're doing the Metroid Prime strategy where they're trying to get people to double dip.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And they'll probably be somewhat, at first glance when I saw this, I was a little put off by the price. I think it's too much for those Pikmin games. Just because they've been released before, they've been re-released before. We've had them on the Wii, we had them on the Wii U, and I was just like, really, like they're trying to build hype.
Remastered.
Yeah, and they're trying to build hype. They're trying to get people, and that's just like, for as niche as Pikmin is, I guess in my mind, I was like, just get people in the game. I was thinking like you throw both of these in for like $30 together, you sell them for $14.99 a piece, and they're definitely giving it like a more premium pricing than that. They are HDified, but they're like HDified in the same way that like Mario 64 was. It really looks like they just ran it through an emulator. Like they haven't done a whole lot to it.
Yeah.
I
think $20 would have been a nicer price.
It would have been nicer, but like it's not egregious by any means. So I guess it's okay. It's just probably not for me. I am more excited about just Pikmin 4. I don't want to like let go of that. we were talking about as we're leading up, we were talking about, is there a direct? Is there not a direct? And then one of the many things I kept saying is I felt like they wanted to like start to sell Pikmin. Like they haven't really began to push Pikmin. And I was feeling that push from this demonstration in the direct. I'm extremely hyped. I never thought I would have ever said this. I'm so excited for Pikmin 4. Like every time I see it, I'm like, this looks great. And then again, I think it's just fitting. Like it's the right time. Like I'm just down at the moment for like a cool little chill game. Well, I know a lot of people don't find Pikmin chill, but I don't care when they die. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, I just want to kind of like run around, and it looks really beautiful and, you know, charming and like heartfelt like Pikmin always does. And I don't know. I don't know why. I think 7 years ago, Kevin would die if he heard me saying this now. But yeah, I'm down for Pikmin. I'm not going to replay the old ones. I played the old ones when they came to Wii U. I think I played Pikmin 2 on Wii. I never finished them. The only Pikmin game I've ever like really put, I think, significant amount of time into is Pikmin 3, which I loved. So I think that's more than anything why I'm excited for Pikmin 4.
I'm very happy for Pikmin fans. They're getting their day. All 4 mainline Pikmin games will be on the Switch at the end of July.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Happy for
I might get that physical copy on sale, I imagine, around Black Friday. They'll probably be had, you know?
To have a full collection.
That's an easy, like, $25 game for Nintendo selling Black Friday, right?
Maybe.
Like a doorbuster. I'll probably pick that up then.
Will you Pikmin it up?
I will. Very good. Right. So that's why you're here.
Thank you.
Right. That's why the face that runs the place. Rebecca, everybody. Rebecca.
Metal Gear Solid fans,
Let's go.
get excited. Games plus the digital novel, strategy guides, digital soundtrack coming out October 24th. You can pre-order it now. Comes with Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I didn't know there were so many. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake with the NES Metal Gear Snake's Revenge.
The MSX versions. The originals.
What is that?
It's a computer in Japan. So,
wow.
A little story. Kojima made Metal Gear for the MSX in Japan. And then they created like a sequel without him knowing about it. And he found out and he got mad. And then he pitched his own sequel and they made it in Japan. Then Konami contracted another team to port it to consoles, Famicom, which they did in 3 months. And they made like a bunch of changes. So like the NES versions are not considered canon, and they're quite bad, like by Kojima standards. Kojima himself has been like, they're pretty bad. So, but this is an all-inclusive, you know, this is an exhaustive collection where they're giving you both versions. The differences between the two are minimal. Metal Gear fans would say they're huge. They're minimal. Like a couple scenes are different. A couple mechanics are different, but it's mostly the same game. You're walking around in NES world trying to collect key cards and stuff. I never really liked the NES versions. But they've got those in addition to the Metal Gear Solids. They're also including the graphic novels 1 and 2 from the PSP and the PS3 collection. I mean, this is a great little collection. They're doing the digital soundtrack, and unlike most of these games that I've talked about this entire direct, I'm day one in on this. I'm going to buy multiple copies of this game. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
I'm very happy for you, Donnie.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot in the package here, which is great.
Yep. And I'm hoping, I believe that this will be mostly exactly the way they're supposed to be, like straight emulation. But I'm hoping to find out that they've done some modern touch-ups and some modern conveniences, but I'm not holding my breath for that. I'm already like wincing at the idea of going back to like Snake Eater's original control scheme. We've come a long way since then. But I want to play Metal Gear Solid again, so I'm down. I dig it. I can't wait. This is another game that if you have Switch, you're gonna have to download. Right? So the game is 30 gig download. It won't be complete on the cart. But if you want the bonus videos, it's another 30 gigs. So this is actually pretty hefty on Switch land. My plan is to buy and play it on PC so I can take advantage of my ally and then buy a Switch copy for the shelf. A nice Switch collection copy. Which doesn't mean no favors, because that means I can't use vouchers for it.
Unfortunate.
I wish I could use vouchers for physical copies.
I know, right? That would be the life. Vampire Survivors, that mobile game that we were talking about that is very popular and people enjoy, is coming to Switch on August 17th.
It's another one I've been thinking that a game like this, the games like this would be making the jump soon. So I'm starting to feel like a lot of this direct was basically like exactly kind of how I thought Switch was going to be going here. Without the first party, I didn't expect so much first party content, of course. But everything else, I was like, yeah, this is all kind of wrapping up. So Vampire Survivors is getting 4-player co-op, which people are excited about.
It looks fun. It looks very fun.
Vampire Survivors is very fun. Yeah, I mean, it is very fun. I didn't get nearly as far as several of the folks in our Discord have, but back when I had my Logitech, I played that thing probably for an entire weekend and had a lot of fun with it. It's addictive.
I could see that. I could definitely see the addictive factor for that.
Yeah.
Cool. So it is coming to Switch August 17th. That's soon. Did we get a price on it? Is it the same as elsewhere?
I don't remember. I'd imagine. Yeah, I'd imagine it's the same.
Headbangers Rhythm Royale, a rhythm-based battle royale, is coming.
I forgot this until just now. I vaguely remember this. Yeah. I remember thinking, I was like, how the hell do you do this? And then as they started showing off the gameplay, like, yeah, I guess you're going to get, it kind of reminded me of like how like Switch Sports does Battle Royale, right? When like everybody's going and then they kind of just lop you off like in phases and they do it across. I don't know. That's kind of the thing I was getting. I mean, this looks more fun, of course.
Or like one of those like 99 games like Tetris 99 and Pac-Man 99. Like, I
don't know. Probably not.
Penny's Big Breakaway coming early 2024. I do not remember this at all.
Dude, this is a game that I would absolutely, if this game was coming out in November or October, this would be the game I'd use a second voucher on. I've been on the fence about getting vouchers.
This is like a new 3D platformer type character.
Yeah. Apparently it's from developers that worked on Sonic Mania, I believe is what like it's going around.
Yep.
And it looks great. Like it looks so good. While while I was watching it, we're chatting in the Discord and it popped up and you see the look and you see that I'm like, okay, here's another indie. And then it starts to move around. He starts swinging the. I was like, oh shit, this looks great. I don't know how much it costs. It's out until early 2024, so I don't think I have to pay too much attention to it now. But like, this is the one that if it was like, and it's out November 8th, I think I'd get a pair of vouchers and I'd get this one. So this one's
coming out 2024 though.
This one's pretty high on the list. I'm gonna get this game.
For me, I don't like the art style.
Okay.
It was hard for me to distinguish where the character was in terms of everything else that was going on, which I think is important for a platformer. You need to see where your character is. Maybe that's a me problem. I don't know. I like the idea of the character. I like the idea of the 3D platformer.
Yeah. No, I dig it. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
One of my favorite announcements in the direct, personally.
Good. Mario Kart Wave 5 DLC is coming this summer. They showed one of the courses. It looked like it was going through a bathroom, like you were tiny and going through. It kind of reminded me of the Ribbon Road in Mario Kart, that track.
I don't remember.
But like you're in a bathroom going through, like you go across the sink and across the toilet and like through the toilet paper. But that was all they showed really. And they showed new characters, Petey Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek.
He's pretty excited.
Yeah, I'll play it. I will play it. Star Ocean, the second story remake science fantasy RPG, real-time battles, coming out November 2nd. Are you a Star Ocean fan, Donnie?
Nope, never played it. Can't say that I don't think I've ever even tried it. Looks cool. Looks
then
good.
Let's move on to the announcement of the Direct. I cannot believe it. WarioWare, move it.
Move it.
I was listen. I need to go on my soapbox real quick. I was disappointed in the WarioWare title that was on the Switch, Get It Together, because it was not a traditional WarioWare game. I was very upset about how, like, it was not a bad game, but it was not a traditional WarioWare game that I wanted. So when that did so badly, I was like, well, that's it. There's not going to be another WarioWare game on the Switch. There might not even be another WarioWare game in a long time ever because of how bad this one was. But they announced WarioWare Move It. And not only, Donnie, is this a traditional WarioWare game, but it is a direct sequel to the best WarioWare game, Smooth Moves, on the Wii. Did you play Smooth Moves?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Donnie, that is the best game on the Wii, period. The end. That's what I said. There is local co-op in this one. There are 4-player mini games and party mode, over 200 micro games. It's coming out November 3rd. This is the Rebecca announcement.
This is you?
The highlight for me. This is the highlight. This is the will for me to continue living until November 3rd.
To make you happy, and this is
Sean Capri gets it.
I'm not just pandering to you. If I go the voucher route, which I'm still undecided, this at the moment is probably the game I go voucher with.
Do it.
Yeah. There's a lot. When I announced it in the Discord, people were like, not RPG, and I got not Batman. I'm like, no, none of those. No. Like, it would probably be WarioWare if I had to choose. I would rather get that 3D platformer, but without it, probably WarioWare. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get
this. Will be better than that. It will be. If somebody asked about the price, it is listed as $50 on the eShop. And it is game voucher eligible.
Oh, thanks, Sean. I didn't know that. I just assumed it'd be full price. So, yeah, I don't want to make any final decisions, but I'm probably just gonna. I don't think I'm gonna get vouchers. I think I'm just gonna pick up Wonder and WarioWare in store. I don't think I'm gonna get vouchers for either of them. I'm just gonna buy them.
Yeah, I'm so excited. After the failure of Get It Together for me, the disappointment of that, it gives me so much life. I'm so happy.
The only thing that gives me pause is that I've always played WarioWare mostly with my kids, and they just don't play games with me or like that anymore. So I'll be playing it mostly solo.
But once they see you playing it and see how ridiculous it is, they're going to come and play it and giggle with you.
I don't think so. But I might buy it just to try your theory. They just don't. They're just not as interested anymore. Jack's playing Sea of Thieves. Daughter's in her own world. They're just not doing as much. My wife might play it with me, though. We might play it together.
Get better kids, says Tralala.
I mean, they're older now, right? Sean, you'll see what it's like one day. You'll see. Hang on to these moments.
Aw. Well, you should get it and you should enjoy it because this is...
How much fun do you think?
3 games of the year for me.
How much run do you think I'll have playing it solo?
If a lot, the whole game, you'll love it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then I'm in.
They plugged a Nintendo Live.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They did do that. Yeah.
They came on and thanked us for playing Tears of the Kingdom.
That was bizarre.
Maybe they would show us some DLC. No mention of DLC.
Then why was that even there? That was so weird.
Because they wanted to show us the Zelda and Ganon.
No, I get that,
amiibo.
But am I the only person that just thought it was weird?
Yeah.
I remember thinking that they just came on and they're like, "We want to thank you." I was like, "Okay, you're welcome." I don't know what are we doing here?
They're reminding you it exists. It was not weird. Don't overthink it.
Okay, I thought it was weird.
I wanted them to talk about DLC, but I will buy these 2 amiibo. They're gorgeous. Beautiful Zelda,
Ganon
Daddy
amiibo.
Ganon.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm there. And then finally, one last thing.
Let's do it.
2D Mario game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's coming out on October 20th.
Day 1.
Tell me about it, because this is you.
Yeah, no, I'm all about this. This looked incredible. I do want to talk. I want to have more of like a cynical talk on it, but before I do, I just want to get the hype out of the way. Yeah, day 1, absolutely all in. This game looks amazing. It looks colorful. It looks amazing. It's got Wonder Plants. It's new Mario Bros on acid. So many crazy things that were shown with the pipes that moved and wiggled, or those Daisy pushing a pipe against like Petey, and there's so many. It's just very zany and wacky, is what it is. It's Mario, but very zany and wacky, and of course, here for it, right? Elephant Mario, just it's bizarre. So in all that, I'm all in. I love 2D Mario. I don't think it's weird, but over the years of Nintendo Shack, I feel like we've often established that I don't think most people are as into 2D Mario as 3D Mario. I'm a 2D Mario fan over 3D Mario every day of the week. It's not even close. I will always go 2D Mario if given the opportunity. I like 2D Mario is like 3D Zeldas. And I'm excited this is here. This is a big game. It's coming at a great time, I think, for it. It's been a long time since we've had another one. The thing that I want to talk about maybe a bit more granularly is for years I've been hearing from like the Zelda circles that I follow that everybody was tired of new Super Mario Bros. Everybody hated new Super Mario Bros. Nobody wanted new Super Mario Bros. Anymore. The art style, it's been the same thing for so long. It's boring. And I don't think this is that. It's definitely not boring. They've definitely added so many things to it to mix it up. But it is new Super Mario Bros. Like, right? Like the art style is very similar. The character is very similar. Like it's the minor alterations, but so yesterday I watched a YouTube clip and somebody was like, they've reinvented 2D Mario. No, they haven't. This is the same thing. It's a little different. Like they've thrown in some new mechanics, but like, no, this is not a reinvention of the series. It very much looks and seems the same way to me. So I was, and the reason I say that is I'm a little surprised having heard that from so many people, that so many people are excited. Because I while we were in the Discord and it was going on, I was honestly in my head, I was like, oh, I was expecting people to be, this isn't different enough. This isn't changing enough, just from based on the things, the conversations I have for years. But that may just be forum fodder talk that people say until Nintendo gives us a Zelda or Mario game, because we all just love Zelda and Mario games and we just buy the new ones. That's probably what that is, you know? But it's very colorful. It's very vibrant. It's very bright and bouncy and happy, and you know, playable Daisy, and they had Peach, and they had Toad, and they had Yoshi, and it's all like I'm just remembering the trailer, the rockets with the cloud trails. I can't wait. It looks like in New Super Mario Bros. There were always like those levels. There's like a handful of levels in each world that like got really crazy. You know, everybody remembers like the Starry Night or like the Shadow levels and stuff like that. And it looks like all of those ideas are just kind of thrown into this game at like a base level. And because of that, I can't wait. But yeah, G-Man says just without the new on the front. Yeah, if they had slapped new Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I think this would be right at home. I was just a little surprised. I wonder if I may be the only one that even picked up on that. But yeah, just I heard that for many years, and the reason I guess I've always keened in on that is because I really like new Super Mario Bros. And I always have. So I've always thought like some of the hate that they get was just kind of not warranted, because they're really good games. But I am happy to see that they mixed it up. I did think a freshening up needed to be made, and this looks, yeah, all anything, you know, but fresh. I mean, everything looks kind of remixed and new in that regard. So I'm digging it.
Very happy for you.
Day one, absolutely. This is the game of the direct for me, and I'll be there.
Good. I did like the zany aspects of it. This is not a Rebecca game at all. I'm happy for the people that are excited. It feels like it's long overdue. It feels like this. I'm surprised that it's October, that it's not holiday. Like it's not a big November, December push.
Yeah. It
feels like that would be the spot for it, but it's coming out sooner than that, which is exciting.
I don't mean to get ahead of ourselves, but do you think it might come out with a system? No. Maybe like just in my head I was thinking that maybe it would get like the Joy-Con treatment, and or maybe have some sort of like tie-in with like maybe you get like a rental code for the movie. Or I feel like there's an opportunity here, as you were talking about it when the movie came out, like you were like, they have a Mario game that they're going to do for the movie. There is an opportunity here to do like some cross promotion, and you just know.
They won't.
Okay.
I like the idea. They should do that, but I don't see it happening.
I kind of want some Wonder Joy-Cons. I don't know what they look like, but I kind of want like some purple swirly, like crazy.
They might
zany.
Do something like that.
I kind of want some. I kind of want some Wonder
cool.
Joy-Cons.
Yeah. Anything else about the Nintendo Direct? What are your? It was
better than I
thoughts?
thought it would be. I was surprised by the amount of first-party content that was included. So now I guess is the right time to talk about this. they showed us a roadmap that existed, I think, beyond what people were expecting with the Switch. Which has a lot of people talking about what that means for the Switch. Are these games coming out on the next Switch? Are they coming out on this Switch? I think they're coming out on this Switch because I think the next Switch is further away than people think.
They do have a lot of stuff here for an end of a console life.
And it is like the end of console life stuff too. It's not the type of stuff that I would expect them to rush out hardware to make sure that they can dual release on. You know, it's a Princess Peach game. It's a Luigi's Mansion remaster. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. I think the reason why they didn't show us the Princess Peach game is because I think that will be a new Switch title. They said it's 2024, but I think they're also in the spot of, we have this new hardware. We can keep developing it. We can keep letting it cook for as long as we want. There's no pressure. If we need to release it next year, we can do that.
If anything, I think it's more beneficial.
If the Switch keeps selling, then we'll hold on to it and keep changing it and developing it and making it better.
It's more beneficial for them to wait.
Yeah.
You know, like the more time they give it, the better position they are to come back strong against like this portable onslaught of competition that's coming out. And, you know, we say it all the time. They make like their systems for their games. There's nothing wrong with their games running on Switch.
Yeah.
They can churn these games out for years to come.
Yeah.
Not just another 18 months. They're like, we're good. This thing runs the new Mario game amazingly. It's just fine. And all of those, like, I'm trying to connect dots back here. I'm like, all right, we just saw a bunch of the future. They had those dev kits they took back, and back here, this in my head, I'm starting to think of those things. And I'm like, man, I think we might be here for a minute. Actually, I'm starting to settle in.
The physics engine on Tears of the Kingdom is running on 2017 hardware.
And you think of the rumors that we've had for the last couple years of ports and games that they might be making and remasters. We see Luigi's Mansion. There's always the undying rumors of Zelda ports and stuff like that. The Metroid Prime wasn't talked about today. Not Remaster 2, not 3, not 4. You know, like there's a lot of things that I feel like you can cobble together. You got the Splatoon DLC, you've got DLC for other things. There's a lot of things. Like I got the sense from this, and it may be reading way too much into one direct, but I got the sense from this direct, we're going to be here for a minute. Like this doesn't at all seem like, hey, we're readying a console for next spring. I don't think so. Yeah. So I'm ready to settle in. Maybe I will just be completely wrong. But the more and more I kind of see, the more and more I think, yeah, it might be a little longer than people are saying.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on the internet, they're like, it has to be, next spring.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's next year at some point in 2024, but I don't think it necessarily is going to be.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be. I think, honestly, right now, if you were to ask me today, right, we can only judge based on what we're going on, based on what we have evidence, fall of 2024 at the earliest. Right? Like at the earliest. If not 2025.
Yeah.
And then watch them release it in like January. But no, I
don't
think it's going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's move on past the direct. This was a funny story. The annual shareholders meetings that they have for Nintendo. A Japanese Splatoon 3 fan bought some Nintendo shares just to attend this meeting and complained directly to the company president, Furukawa, letting him know that there is preferential treatment of girl Inklings and Octolings in Splatoon 3. This person talked for quite a while, longer than most people do at these shareholder meetings, and Furukawa interrupted to say, "Your question's too long," but this person kept going. Eventually, at the end, his response was simply, "Thank you for your opinion."
I believe the buy-in that was reported was $2,500 he spent to do this.
Something like that, yeah.
I'm sure he's going to sell
but
it.
Apparently, so Japanese Twitter is like flipping out over all of this, because apparently this person's like, all of their social media is just like, this person has way too much time on their hands talking about this preferential treatment. Like, I don't know if it's like a sexist thing. I don't even know if this person's a man or a woman. It must be a man. No sane woman would do this. Just no offense to y'all. So let me tell you, there is preferential treatment of girl inklings and octolings in this game. Sort of. Just like in the marketing and stuff. But 90% of the players choose to play as a girl because they're better in the game. They just look cooler. They have better hairstyles. And I think that's what this person is complaining about. Yeah. They do. That being said, I mean, let's be real. Girl inkling, like, you can do so much more with girl hair than guy hair. Like, it's just going to be better. It's probably better in every customization game ever. Here's the thing, though. All of the clothing can be worn by either gender. So it's not like the girls are getting more customization options in that regard. There's no difference. Even in the game, when you're customizing your character, it doesn't even say, do you want to play as the girl or the boy? It just says choose your style. There's no gender
I think it's
anymore.
Literally like just the hair. It's not really much more than that.
You can wear all the same pants. You can like everything else is the same. Yeah. They just look cooler. People choose to play as the girl. So they do, but this is not the big deal that this person is making it out to be.
No, I don't even think that's even worth. Yeah, that was a really good summary. I don't think that needs to be said. I think the thing here is this person is so crazy enough he bought stock to go and take his claims up with the company.
I didn't even know that you could do that. I read that apparently years ago an F-Zero fan did the same thing. They just
why didn't he ask where the DLC was? Why didn't he ask why the connection issues crap out?
There's so many problems in Splatoon 3.
Why was he like, why is the Splatfest vanilla? What the hell are you guys doing over here?
For all the problems in that game, this is what you choose to complain about.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. I laughed when I saw this. I just died laughing that somebody was, so into it that they were like, I've got to buy stock. I've got to take this up with the man in charge. This won't stand. Where's the manager? Where is the manager?
And he talked to the president, the Nintendo president directly. And he was just like, your question's too long.
They should just have a way to like mute the Zoom or something. Like just get off the line. They shouldn't even anyway.
But he's an investor. He has a say. Please.
Ridiculous.
Is this what game is this? This next one is about. Oh, is this about Mario Rabbids?
Yeah. So Yves, CEO of Ubisoft, did an interview with GamesIndustry.biz. It was about Ubisoft's kind of placement and future and all that, but they did talk about Mario Rabbids. And he gave off the impression in his response that Nintendo had possibly advised them not to release Mario Rabbids and save it for the next console. And he was saying this as an explanation as to why they're not particularly happy with how Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope sold. They think it sold pretty soft. But the interview became more interesting after the Direct, I think, because in the interview, he basically gave the assumption that Nintendo was like, look, we don't release the same type of game multiple times on a system. Like every system gets one. Every system gets one Mario Kart, one 3D Mario, so on and so forth. That was essentially what Yves was saying. It was like, we shot ourselves in the foot. We should have saved it for the next console because you already had Mario Rabbids, and here we're giving you a second dose of it. Which I wasn't buying when he said it. I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. But I definitely am not buying it now. Because here's Nintendo, and they just released a bunch more first-party games and a bunch more Mario games. And I get that for the Switch, like Mario Wonder is its first true 2D Mario game, but for a lot of people, it's not. For a lot of people, it's not their first, 2D Mario game on Switch. So, yeah, I thought this was an interesting thing to converse about because, like, do you believe him? Because Nintendo has done.
Wait, do I believe him about what? About that? About
yeah, like that's why Mario Rabbids. Yeah, neither do
absolutely
I.
not.
Yeah.
there
I think if
were a lot
Nintendo
of
released a
other things
new
working
Mario
against
Kart this year, it'd sell like gangbusters.
it. 100%. The problem here was people. I mean, we've talked about this before about how the first game ended up going on sale for like $5, and like just if you waited it out, you would get a better deal on it. And I don't think the marketing was really on point for this one, and I think there's so many other reasons why.
The chat's full of sequels that Switch has. So many of the same games. Yeah. So when I played Sparks of Hope, I told everybody that I felt like it was lacking like a sense of like Mario charm that I think the first one had. It seems to be more Rabbids heavy and more in that vein. It was more original. And I don't necessarily think that didn't do a whole lot for me. And I don't know how, and I'm not projecting that on everybody else, but for me, I was like, I kind of don't want to keep doing this. Whereas the first one, I felt very compelled because it was very Mario-like and it felt like a very Mario-centric story. They also had great DLC with Donkey Kong, right? That was an excellent DLC. But honestly, I shouldn't even have said any of that because I think this comes down to this. I think when this game was announced, it was brand new, it was fresh. A lot of people had never tried it before, so I think there was a lot of interest. And I think maybe that it was just a place and time thing. Like maybe Mario Rabbids isn't going to be a 10-year franchise. Maybe it's not a game that appeals to people over and over again. Right? Like, can't that just be the answer?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be my guess. People aren't that into XCOM.
I don't know. I think there were a lot of things wrong with it.
I do too. Yeah.
And I don't think the quality of the game has anything to do with it.
It is just a niche game. You know?
Yeah.
And it came out at a time where we had a lot of options. A lot of things to play. You know, it's a little bit different for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Different place, different time. I would chalk up most of it to place and time. And maybe, but you know, to Eve's credit, maybe if they held it to be a launch game for a new system, maybe it would have sold better. It probably would have because it was a launch
You don't know
game.
when that's going to be though.
Of course, which is why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting that he went to that approach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hit us with some questions, Donnie.
Yep, we got some questions direct from you. So let's start with Yarden, who says, discuss Super Mario RPG better than Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
You're so real for that, Yarden.
Garrett Bland says, y'all excited for the Game of Direct Gloomhaven?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Jay says, what Switch game do you regret buying the most?
Strikers.
That's a really good one.
Strikers. I would have regretted buying Switch Sports had I bought it. It was a review code. Brilliant Diamond.
I regret buying Switch Sports. That's also a good one.
Brilliant Diamond, had I bought it, it was a review code. Bomberman R on launch day.
That's the answer. Bomberman R sucked.
Yeah.
I also think of Snake Pass, and I also think of Untitled Goose Game.
What?
Yeah. I bought that game because it was all viral and hype, and I was like, this would be great. And then I played it for like 2 hours, and it was not very fun, though. I didn't very much enjoy it. Yeah, me too. Matt says, with such a large gap between the new 2D Mario titles, do you think the Switch successor is likely to see a fresh 2D Mario title at all? Or will Super Mario Bros. Wonder get some sort of deluxe treatment?
Of course it'll get a 2D Mario title at some point. Maybe not right away.
I would expect that any of these games that are coming out now would be, I mean, I think they'll be backwards compatible on the new Switch. So
I hope so.
Do they re-release a retail copy? Maybe.
It highly depends on what the infrastructure looks like.
It really does. Yeah. If anything, I'd expect them to just start releasing like some updates. You know, just like maybe like patch them. I don't know. I was gonna say, do you see Sean's? Sean says his most regretted game is Splatoon 3.
I gave him a sad face.
Yeah. The Don Rob says, what thing in Tears of the Kingdom did you discover way later than you were probably supposed to? Because for me, I'm 90 hours in. I've completed the main story. I still don't know what Poes are for.
Okay, I have two things. I still 60 some 70 some hours in the game still have not seen Gloom Hands.
Really? Wow.
I've seen them in other people's games. I have not seen them. I think they don't exist in my game.
It's pretty cool. They're pretty terrifying.
I don't know what that's all about. And I still don't know what to do. Don't tell me, chat. I still don't know what to do with those bubble frog gems.
I already told you that on the podcast. I already told you that. We talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where to take them. I know that you can exchange them for things, but I don't know where. Don't tell me. I forget. Okay, no, don't.
But I already told you once.
I forgot then, I guess.
That works. Okay, I won't tell you. I'll tell Don Rob that the Poes are collectibles that you use to exchange.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him where to take them.
Why? He asked.
Because no, he didn't ask. He did not ask. Well, he just says he hasn't found what you use Poes for. He did not ask us to reveal to him. If he wanted to know, he would Google it.
Well, I didn't tell him where to go, just like you. I didn't tell you where to go.
He knows they're collectibles.
We can figure it out. You'll find the place, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Don't say.
How do I don't know what I don't know. Right. So
but maybe it's something that you discovered way late. Maybe you've already have discovered it. Like maybe you didn't discover
that like soon enough.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I don't know.
Okay.
I felt like I did a pretty good job of kind of trying to get into the systems and how they worked on early on. So I felt like I had a base understanding of like how everything worked. You know, I would have liked to have known that the Terrytown missions were as rewarding as they were. I would have done them sooner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just hold on. Don't say anything yet. I needed to make sure my mom wasn't listening so I can rat out my dad, who has played 9. When I visited him earlier in the week, I saw that he had 95 hours in the game. Did not start any of the dungeon quests. Did not. He's been in the depths once. He had not returned to the sky. He did not do any of. He did the first memory. 95 hours. Did not have any battery upgrades.
I love it.
It's like, what have you been doing for 95 hours? He's like shrines.
Yeah. Yeah. My man. I like your dad. Did you see the thing I posted in Discord?
No.
Somebody built a submarine in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my god, I saw that. I saw that.
He said, I'd like my 250 G's now. And I was like, of course they did. Of course somebody did.
That's messed up.
Okay. It was great. Great TikTok. G-Man says, was the most weirdest thing to happen in a game that you loved or hated?
The weirdest thing?
What's the weirdest thing in Zelda? Tingle?
No. If you have not played Undertale, close your ears for the next 30 seconds. On the PC version of the game, which is what I played originally, at the end of the game, I think it's during the final battle, or maybe it's right before the final battle.
There it is.
Your game, you're talking to the antagonist and he's like saying some stuff to scare you, and the program closes and you're supposed to think that like your game crashed and like you lost all your progress. You open it back up, try to reload your save file, and it makes it look like it's all corrupted and stuff.
That's cool.
It freaked me out the first time. I did not know that the game had the power to close the program and make something like that happen. That was like my first experience of something like that. And it was just so like, gave me chills.
That's very Eternal Darkness, like Metal Gear.
Yes. Eternal Darkness is so good. Yeah. Okay. If you have not played Undertale, you can come back.
Metal Gear would like play with your save, or they had like boss fights where you had to like switch controller ports and stuff like that.
I love that.
Pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spagoop says hand toilets, and yeah, I didn't need that memory unlocked again, but yeah, that's it. That's definitely the weirdest thing in Zelda. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't like that. That's not like a weird thing that I liked. I don't like that. I could live without that. Also, was it I think it was Twilight Princess, but now I'm thinking maybe it was Skyward Sword. It's Twilight Princess. Was that little egg creature person with like the neck and the head?
Yeah, that was Twilight Princess Uku.
Oh, just give me the chills.
Uku's cool. Back off.
Is it? Okay. In No More Heroes 3, you fight a boss fight, Kimmy, who's a returning character from No More Heroes 2. Kimmy adores Travis, and then they have a battle, and he defeats her. So then she comes back for revenge, and it's like a British TV pop show. It's very like, think like Spice Girls meets Lady Gaga. They're like super colorful and everything, and they're like dancing and everything. And you think you're about to have this boss fight, and then it devolves into this awful rap battle. They have a rap battle with each other before they fight each other, and it's terrible. That's a worse moment. I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm looking at the chat to see what they've got. You know, okay, in Metal Gear Solid 2, the character you play with gets all of his stuff taken from him at one point, and you have to run around and sneak around completely butt-ass naked, which is pretty funny. So that's 2. There's one that I hate. Like a
PG-13 Eventide Island.
Yeah. He's like covering himself up and like kind of like.
In episode 5 of Life is Strange, the original, when all of those weird things happen with like the writing on the bathroom walls being like just like her nightmare sequence. Do you remember that part where it's
I'm
like
sorry,
all
I
in
was
the mirrors?
reading the chat. What did I miss?
Sorry. Do you remember in episode 5 of Life is Strange 1 where like it's the nightmare sequence? It starts with her like going through the dorm and like going through the door, and she's back in the dorm, and then she's in the diner bathroom, and there's all that writing on the walls. It's like on the mirror, and she like doesn't see herself in the mirror. It's like that whole nightmare sequence is so good. I love that.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Mm-hmm. I should play some Life is Strange.
I love Life is Strange.
It's been a minute. Kyle the Pug says, what are your top 3 reveals from the Nintendo Direct, and what are your top 3 day 1 purchases? His were RPG, Pokemon, and Mario Kart 5.
WarioWare Move It is number 1. Super Mario RPG is number 2. And Here's the Kingdom Amiibo is number 3.
Mario Wonder, Metal Gear Solid, and Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4. There we go. Pikmin 4 is my number 3. Yep.
The last question we got is a returning question, because we got this on PSVG this week. Will Mario Wonder outsell Spider-Man 2? They come out on the same day.
I don't know what the typical sales numbers for Spider-Man would be.
Spider-Man sells very well, like Nintendo.
I think Spider-Man will outsell Mario Wonder.
I think Mario Wonder will outsell Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Now, the question that we got on PSVG this week was in October. Like, it was specific for that month. I did admit that I think long-term Spider-Man may outsell Mario Wonder. But I think that month, I think this year, I think early, I think Mario Wonder will outsell Spider-Man.
Okay.
I think they both will sell extremely well, and I also admit that I could be completely fucking wrong because this
Is
is
Spider-Man coming out on PS4 as well as PS5?
Nope, and that was a big part of
that's
it.
different then.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
PS5
different
only.
then maybe not.
Because there's only like what 40 million PS5s.
Yeah.
It's not Spider-Man from a couple years ago where they're selling it to everything. You know, like
Yeah, okay.
it's a smaller base. Also,
I think that changes my answer then.
Also, Spider-Man comes out after a week of like Assassin's Creed and Alan Wake, and there's like a bajillion games that come out in October that Spider-Man does have to compete with. Mario doesn't. Mario is the game for that platform. And the thing that gave me some pause, I was like, if RPG was out before Wonder, I might be inclined to be like, okay, maybe people will split. They'll pick this Mario over that Mario. But the fact that Mario Wonder is out first, I don't think people will split. I think they'll get Mario Wonder, and then I think they'll split over Wario or RPG, or they'll split over the November games, but I don't think they're going to split over Wonder. I don't think there'll be, I mean, there'll probably be somebody, but I don't think there'll be a lot of people who'd be like, I'm not going to get Wonder because I'm waiting for Mario RPG. I don't think that'll be.
I think you're right.
So I think Mario will outsell Spider-Man. But that's a really good like 50-50. I mean, it's a good bet against each other. We'll see. I think Spider-Man's gonna be pretty excellent. I also think Spider-Man, though, it's like the third Spider-Man in relatively recent times. You know, I'm wondering if they're just going back to it a little too soon. Like they just keep coming back. Here's another Spider-Man, another Spider-Man, another Spider-Man. Or we haven't had a new 2D Mario game in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Fair point.
And that's it. Those are the questions. That is the direct. That is the news.
Heck yeah. We're almost at July, Donnie.
The internal yawn. I know. We got Peachtree Road Race. I got to do July 4th is always like the biggest day of the year for me at work. So it's a lot's going on leading up to that. I don't think I'm going to do fireworks this year. I just think I'm just kind of tired. Like more than anything else. Like I'm just like, man, I got to go to work at like 3 a.m. that morning. Many years I've come home and stayed up and all that. And this year I think I'm just going to come home and go to bed.
Do it. I fully support you.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to do it. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll be playing a little bit more Zelda. Hopefully we'll be playing some more interesting games. Pikmin 4 is coming up next month. Good stuff ahead.
Can't wait to dive into that demo.
Yeah, do it.
Demo looks
excellent. All right. Have a good week, everyone. We will see you next time.
Peace.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?